I am live. I am live, but I cannot see myself. Ooh, I hate when that happens. I am live, but I cannot see myself. So let's see if it kind of comes around. I hate when that happens. Ooh, it says that I'm live, but I cannot see myself. Let's see. Enable flash. Oh, it's the other way around. Disable flash. If you're watching this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to do this. It's not letting me do it. Okay. But I hate when that happens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to go live and it's not letting me go live. There we go. Live. Yes, you caught me live. What's going on? How are you doing, my man? I can see you, but it's not letting me see. It's live, but it's not letting me see. Mute my. That's what I hate about this. Live, yes. Jesse Williams is live. What's going on? Mac is in the building. Hey, how are you doing, my man? I'm trying to go. It's not letting me go. I'm good. What's good? All right. So I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but what's going on, Garnell Whiten? Yes, you live. Yes, you can see me. Okay, well, I can't see myself, so I'm going to do this sight unseen. So this is going to be kind of weird. I'm talking to a black screen, so I can't see myself. That's okay. What's good, brother? I am good. Yes, we can see me. Okay, yes, you can see me. All right, so I'm just going to use my faith because I can't see myself. I don't know if I'm in frame, if I'm out of frame, but it's kind of weird. So this live, I'm gonna need you guys to talk to me a whole bunch because I can't see myself. So it's really like I'm talking to myself for real. Peace, Dean. Peace. What's going on, Sammy? How are you doing? Makita's in the building. What's going on, my man? I am good. Thank you so much for watching. So I can't see myself, which is kind of weird. All right. Melania is in the building. Hey, how are you doing? Yes, is in the building. All right. So if you guys are watching this right now, I want you to go ahead and tap that like button. Tap that like button for me right now. This is very interactive. I'm going to need you guys to interact with me because I can't see myself. It's kind of weird. I can't see myself. This is like recording back in the day before you could see it. So like if I'm sitting in front of a screen, it's just, I'm just trusting it. So, all right. So I need everybody to tap the like button. If you don't like me, then tap the dislike button. All right. You feeling, greetings, Mr. Cole. Okay. You got to be bougie. Yeah, I do have to be bougie. I do have to be bougie. It's good that you know that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, gotta be bougie. Gotta be true to myself. All right, good stuff. All right, you good? You see me? Okay, awesome, Garnell. You see me? Good stuff. Sup, player? Drop some jewels. Yes, I'm about to drop some jewels. Better boo. So go ahead and hit this share button. If you're watching this right now, I want you to share this. Raheem Medina's in the building. Hey, Raheem, how are you doing, my man? So if you're watching this right now, I need you to do two things. I need you to hit that like button, even if you're watching this on the replay, because I have the cool analytics to where I can come back and I can see everybody that shared. And I really want to do a really cool thing where I can kind of give away something because I'm getting up there in subscribers, and I want to do something like that. And I appreciate the support. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to hit that share button, hit the share button and share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it on social media, share it with your baby mama, share it with your side chick, share it with your baby daddy, share it with your side dude, whatever you got going on, I want you to share it. And then text it to somebody, even if you can't. Like Dean, all I do is YouTube. That still doesn't stop you from being able to share it. I still want you to share it. I want you to text it to somebody. I want you to share it. Okay, we got 20 people, 25 people in here. Boss Mac is in the building. Give me some of that game. I'm about to give you all types of game. I'm about to drop it to you. Listen, what it say? Pick your poison. My response to Still Hawging AKA Ghost. You know, I'm a direct type of guy. You know, I give it to you all the way straight. I don't give it to you. Listen, only thing I chase is a trade. I give it to you all the way straight, no chaser. Only thing I chase is a trade. And that's in very, very rare occasions because my strike price is off. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned to my channel. You'll understand. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hit that share button and hit that like button. Now, this is my response to Still Hawging AKA Ghost. Ghost Robinson. Now, let me tell you guys a little bit about Ghost. and a little bit about Still Hawging. Ghost is somebody I respect and admire tremendously. Ghost, he looked like he young, but he ain't young. Ghost done been here before. He's like me. What's going on, my man? Kenneth is in the building. What it do? Thank you so much for chiming in. So I'm gonna need you guys to interact with me now. Even if you're watching this on the replay, ask your questions or interact, because I always come back as well. If you guys look at my comments and you follow me, you guys know that I kind of come back and I interact. All right. Yeah, so mad respect for you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Who said that? That's Islin Don Trucker. Thank you so much for that. Doing my thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate the positivity. So this is my response to Ghost, AKA David Robinson, AKA Ghost. Still Hawging TV actually is what he goes by on YouTube. So let me tell you guys about Ghost. Ghost is somebody I respect tremendously. I admire and respect Ghost tremendously. Like I said, he looked like he young, but he ain't young. He looked like he a good 22, but he might be maybe 45. I'm just teasing now, he's not 45. But he acts that way. He does have that mentality of being 45. He's very mature for his age, even for somebody in his early 30s. He's very, very mature for his age. Ghost is somebody who has been a very popular YouTuber in the trucking community. Now, I have a lot of clients that I consult. I have a lot of clients that are enrolled in DCFI Online, which is E.DeanCole Financial Online Institute. Also, people who hire me personally that I consult, that follow me on social media and have absolutely no idea about the trucking industry and no idea what YTTA is, or have absolutely no idea about trucking. I have clients that are, they own real estate. I have clients that own car dealerships, consultants, attorneys, tax professionals. I have a myriad of clients that I teach and consult when it comes to business development, business credit specifically, business credit and business development. So a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, and you're in that demographic, then you might not get a lot of this information. So Still Hawging TV, Ghost, somebody I admire tremendously. He is a contributor into YTTA, and he's a contributor to the movement. Somebody I respect tremendously. And he, like I said, looks like he's young, but he's an older gentleman. He's not older, but he's around my age, maybe like a couple years younger than me. Very, very successful, extremely successful trucker, extremely successful businessman. And so I was doing a live Q&A. It was the name of the live Q&A. Matter of fact, I had a bow tie on. Did I have this same bow tie on? I think I might have had the same bow tie on, because I undid it. This is so cool. Perfect. So I did a live that says how to start your own business when you're driving company. All right. I have a lot of clients that are in the trucking industry, and a lot of them don't understand the business sides of trucking. They understand the specificity and the practicality of driving the truck. They understand what it's like to deal with lumpers. They understand what it's like to deal with fuel and toll. They understand what it's like to deal with DOT. They understand what it's like to do pre-trips. They understand what it's like to lay down tarp. They understand all the logistics of working out the truck and the actual inner workings of the job, but not the understanding on the business side of things. One of the reasons why I admire Ghost so much, because he's the other way around. A lot of people actually give Ghost or Still Hawging TV a lot of flack because he's only been driving trucks for a year, but it don't matter. He's a businessman, a very astute, smart businessman at that. And I want to talk about something, because a lot of people was trying to make it seem like it was some beef between he and I. So if you guys clicked on this, and I did some clickbait, it says my response to Ghost, there's no beef. I love and admire him tremendously. Matter of fact, we're supposed to be meeting up, collabing next Sunday. So womp, womp, womp. But don't turn off, because I still got some information. I'm about to come here, beloved. Come here, beloved. I'm still going to teach you. If you came for the drama, stay for the goodies. All right. So if you came for the drama, I want you to stay for the goodies, because I'm going to teach truth to power on LLC versus S Corp, because that's a misconception that a lot of people have, especially in the trucking industry. And I don't understand why, but people complicate things. So I said all of that to say this. I did a live webinar, live Q&A. And it was how to start a business when you are trucking. And when I did that, I was telling people that they're able to start their LLC. Hear me. They're able to start their LLC right now and have their income from their check, from their regular company, automatically deposited into their LLC. And that just threw people all up in an uproar, like, oh my gosh, Dean. And Ghost was one of the ones that was like, oh my gosh, you about to get people turned up. Folks was talking about me on YouTube. They were talking about me on Facebook. They was like, oh, he's a scammer. Oh, he's a liar. He don't know what he's talking about. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I does this. I have to use vernacular that's not proper so I can help you guys understand. This is what I does, okay? This is what I do, all right? Now, to somebody that's foreign, they don't understand the ins and outs and ends of business development because they don't do it full time. There was somebody who was talking about, real estate. They might have had 2, maybe 3 real estate transactions. Whereas me, my job is to facilitate real estate transactions where I do hundreds of them in a year period. So that being said, the more you do something, the more detailed and you are an expert in that field. So let me kind of backpedal a little bit. You know, you guys know me. Y'all know anything about me. I stand 10 toes down. I don't scratch my head unless it itch. I don't dance unless I hear music. And I don't hear the OJs playing because that's what I like to dance to. They're old school. So I'm about to play the last time I went live when Ghost came on my live, and this is what caused a lot of people thinking there was some issue or there was some beef. So let me explain. So I did the live webinar, live Q&A about how to start a trucking company or how to start your own business while you're driving company. I did that. 2 days later, I did another live because I like lives. Lives are cool. You get to interact with people. And I did another live, and that live was titled Scared Money Don't Make No Money. How to overcome your fears. How to overcome fears as an entrepreneur. That was the title. And this when Ghost came on and he kind of started talking to me live. And so you guys are listening to this. I would show it to you, but I don't know how it is. So you guys got to listen to this. So this is the webinar, or not webinar. This is the live Q&A that I did. All right. So listen to this. It's Friday. What's going on? Still Hawging is in the building. Dean, your last video, you mentioned something that's gonna, You see that? So you heard that, ooh? Because he said it, and I was like, hold on. Because in my mind, you guys got to remember, I love, admire, and respect Ghost, Still Hawging. So here we go. Listen to this. Okay. All right. So you said, I said something that's going to get people caught up by the feds. What was that, Still Hawging? So let me know what that is, Still Hawging, what I said that would get people caught up by the feds. But what I was explaining right now is that the reason why I decided to go live is because it's kind of weird you guys can't see me. It's kind of funny. Came home, I had dinner, could not sleep. And a lot of people have been reaching out to me. And anyway, to make a long story short, that was when it started. And everybody, so I don't want to play. Matter of fact, I do want to do it because I think I go into it a little bit. Because I start going into fear too a little bit. So let me break it down. Let me see. I would ask them questions, and we'll go through 3 or 4 different luck check is a no-no. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I found it. Your direct depositing your check is a no-no. Help me to understand and figure out this is a good opportunity for us to understand the politics. So this is when people thought it was a beef between me and Ghost. Their paycheck into their business account. That's a huge no-no. Okay, Still Hawging, you said that would get you caught up as the feds. Why is it that dropping your direct depositing your check into your business check is a no-no? Help me to understand why you say that, and I can help you to understand why I say what I said. So maybe you can teach me something that I didn't know, or maybe I can teach you something that you didn't know. Boom. Maybe I can teach you something you didn't know. So let me explain that whole scenario, and let me explain the whole situation, why Ghost said what he said. And so this is the thing about it. Ghost is, like I said, a very, very respected YouTuber, very, very, very accomplished and respected businessman. I admire him tremendously. At the same time, Ghost has been taught by a very phenomenal mentor, and he has been taught by doing a lot of self-study, a lot of self-development. Because even after I did my video, Ghost did another video talking about how he's going to start teaching on business credit. So you guys know that's like my business. That's my bread and butter. That's what I do. So a lot of people was like, oh man, it's a war. And so people thought that was beef, but there's no beef. No beef whatsoever. So let me explain where Ghost was coming from, and let me explain where I was coming from, and let me teach truth to power, okay? So one thing I want you to do right now is there are over 40 some odd people that are watching right now. There are over 40 people. I need for you to tap the like button. I'm about to get into it right now. So if you're watching this right now, I want you to tap the like button. Even if you don't like me, I still want you to tap the like button, because I want you to tap the like button because quote unquote Ghost had me choked up or put me in my place. So while you guys are tapping the like button, let me go and see some of the comments that I missed while I was doing this, okay, and see who has joined. All right, so we got Garnell is in the building. He can hear me. All right, what it do? Kenneth Kelly is in the building. Hey, Kenneth, how are you doing? All right, mad respect to you. All right, Islander Trucker, I appreciate that. All right, Islander Trucker says, Islander boy, trucker, laugh out loud. Okay, there we go. Island boy. Island boy. Okay, that's Wagwan. Everything Crease and proper. Is this live? Yes, this is live, DJ. You caught me live. The reason why you caught me live is because you hit that subscribe button and you hit the bell. So yes, this is live, DJ. You caught me live. You can actually ask me questions. It says, meet up with you, Ghost, in Utah. Really cool cat. Yes, Ghost is a great guy. Really cool guy. Okay, so T Moore says, you have to check the replay? Yes, you got to check the replay, Timor. Check the replay. Matter of fact, if you guys are watching this, so underneath this video, if you're watching this on the replay, I am going to drop a link to both videos. The video that I dropped teaching how you're able to start a your own business driving company, and the second video is this video right here, Scared Money Don't Make No Money. I'm going to drop that in the description. So you guys can see this if you're watching this on the replay. And if you're watching this on the replay, the reason why you're watching it on the replay and you're not watching it live is because you did not subscribe, or if you did subscribe, you did not hit the bell. So let me go ahead and read some of these comments, okay? All right, come for the goodies. That's right, Curtis came for the goodies. That's good stuff. All right, we came for the knowledge. Awesome. Nick came for the knowledge. I'm glad you came for the knowledge. You just came in. Awesome, Timor, you just came in. That's good stuff. All right, says you don't beef, you educate. That's right, Island boy. Man, I beef with none of them. I don't beef with none of them. I educate. Big man, this. That's good stuff. No more drama. That's good stuff. Get it? No more drama. That's good stuff. All right, like you with Golden Child. Yes, just like with me and Golden Child. I just gave them opportunity. I educated them. Told them to come here, beloved. Let's sit down. We're going to do the exact same thing. So I need you to come here, beloved, and sit down in my office. And I'm going to teach you truth to power from the aspect of an expert that does this on a multiple times and in multiple situations. And that's the thing about it. When you are a practitioner, this is what you do. All right. So let me explain what I mean by that. You know, as a regular individual, the average successful entrepreneur is going to start 3 to 4 businesses. The average entrepreneur is going to start 3 to 4 businesses. As a consultant right now, I have over 275 businesses that I consult with on a monthly basis. Still Hawging TV is in the building. What's going on, Ghost? I was just talking about you, Still Hawging. Come and sit down, beloved. We're about to have a conversation. So, as a consultant, this is what I do. I don't do 3 or 4 businesses. This is something that I do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. I deal with over 200, I think it's 275 right now that's enrolled in an online course, not including all the other ones that I've been doing for years. So as a consultant, I do this in and out, out and in. I know the ins and outs. I know the loopholes. I know the tricks. I know the things that people guess at. So that's why I'm about to teach you guys from the standpoint of an expert. All right, so very good question. So let me go ahead. So we're up to 35. 2 more likes and I'm gonna break it down. 2 more likes and I'm gonna break it down. I need 2 more likes. Oh, 38. So we need 3 more likes and I'm gonna break it down. What's good, my brother? Up all, that's good stuff. Perfectly legal. Exactly. 404 Trucker, I'm about to explain it right now. 404 Trucker. Now, if you're watching this on the replay, you cannot see the comments because you're not watching live. If you're watching live, you can see the comments. And now we're at 39 likes, 39 views. Let me go ahead and break it down. So 404 Trucker says, perfectly legal. When you set up a business in the eyes of the law, you're lending your business money. Very good, 404 Trucker. Now, let me explain it in specifics from a practitioner standpoint. So, the thing I love about YouTube is YouTube helps you get past all excuses and self-limiting beliefs. I say this all the time. This is my catchphrase. I believe it's true. Anything that you don't know, you can learn. Any person that you don't know, you can meet. Any skill that you do not possess, you can create it. And YouTube is one of the best avenues that you can do that. At the same time, YouTube and doing self development and doing self-resource cannot compete with years and years and years and hours upon hours upon hours of technicality and specifics. Prime example, how many people you know, and this is for my people in the trucking industry, how many people you know thought that they knew how to drive a truck because they watched a YouTube video? How many people you know think that they can be a trucker just because they watched the YouTube video? If you know somebody right now that swear up and down that they know how to drive trucks because they watched the YouTube video, I want you to type LOL, laugh out loud. How many people you know swear up and down that they can flip and invest real estate because they done watch 4 or 5 real estate investors and they done watched it on YouTube? How many people you know think that just because they watched it on YouTube, they know how to do it? All right, if you're watching, and even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you guys to interact. I want you to type LOL, okay? I see Alicia is participating, LOL. All right, Fresh is participating, LOL. All right, Sammy is participating. Island Boy is participating. So just because somebody watch it on YouTube, they think that they know it all. And they think that they can do it. That there's some things that only experience will teach you actually doing it. How many people you know swear up and down that they can cook a recipe? And they done watch that thing time and time again. You done tried to cook something for you the side chick, and you know your man coming over because his wife don't want to cook right. So you go on YouTube and you try to cook up his favorite recipe at the favorite restaurant because you a good side chick now. So that means when he come over, you got the drink, you got the eat, you got everything, his correct extracurricular activities. I mean, you the best side chick on earth. You do the best that you can to try to create that meal. You try to follow the recipe and you messed up. People do it all the time. That's why people say only do this if you are a licensed professional. So I said all of that to say this. Let me explain the situation. So Ghost is a very accomplished, very successful businessman. I admire tremendously. Like I said, there is no beef. So if you came for the beef, you fell for the clickbait. I respect Ghost. He and I talked on the phone today for over an hour. Not because of this. He actually reminded me because I've been so busy. I forgot all about this. Like, I've been so busy. I reached out to Ghost because I'm like, hey, bro, I'm coming to your city. Let's link up. Because I completely forgot all about this. Like, if you guys have noticed, I have not done a video because I have 3 lessons and 3 courses that are being uploaded in my course. And I've been buried and I've been busy, so busy because I'm about to go on vacation. So I got to get all of this done. I called Ghost on some, hey, bro, let's link up. And he reminded me of this. And I was like, oh, yeah. So I said all that to say this. If you came for the beef, there is no beef. I'm sorry. We're vegetarians over here. At least we are for the day. But don't get it twisted because I eat, you understand what I'm saying? If you got some beef, I'll make you dinner. Take a seat so we can eat. But most importantly, I'm up here sweating right now. So you guys got to excuse me. I be sweating like a preacher when I be getting excited. Y'all be laughing at me. I'll be sweating. But so nevertheless, Ghost and I had a conversation about it, and this is where Ghost was coming from, and let me explain where I was coming from. Now, if any of you have ever followed me, ever in life followed me, I have always taught, get a LLC. As an entrepreneur, you want to get an LLC. LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation, all right? Limited Liability Corporation. That is not just a title. It means something. Limited Liability Corporation. That means that you, as an entity, has limited liability. That means that your business stands alone amongst itself, unless, I'm about to talk about that, you set it up the proper way, you have limited liability. Now, there is another group of people that teach, like SoCal is a great trucker, great businessman as well. They teach, and they preach, S Corp, because S Corp sounds sexy. You can trade it on the New York Stock Exchange, and people are thinking about all these tax shelters and tax credits. S Corp. However, this is the mistake when you are a novice and you don't understand. When you get an S Corp, guess what you do not have? Limited liability. You have full liability. You're not protected with your limited liability like you are with an S Corp. So here we go. So Ghost who, like I said, is very, very astute businessman. I take nothing from him whatsoever. I admire him tremendously. I want to meet his mentor. He and I, like I said, we linking up on next Sunday when I'm going to be in San Diego for a week. I'm going on vacation. Ghost got in trouble because he did not consult a professional. Just being very honest with you. I'm just speaking truth to power. Ghost I admire him tremendously. He and I have so much in common. Both of us are very educated, very smart. We believe in empowering people. We both have a thing for beautiful, fair-skinned women. And we both have been divorced and went through hellacious divorces, both of us. And we both understand the inner workings of a business. Ghost is more of a businessman than he is a trucker, and he's a great trucker. So can you imagine how much of a businessman he is? So I said all that to say, but he is self-taught. So he figured out and he tried to do some things himself. And what he did was he created a S corporation. And when he created his S corporation, he was driving for a company for an entire year. And what he was doing was he was depositing his income into his S corporation, not into his LLC. So remember, the advice that I gave on that video was, and I saw Ghost laugh. He said LMAO. Yeah, laughing my A off. It's the truth. Ghost and I are like kindred spirits. He's just a little bit more ripped, and I'm just a little bit taller. But in the video, I was teaching on creating an LLC. I wasn't teaching on creating an S corp, because let me explain to you the benefits of an LLC. So as the title says, my response to Ghost: pick your poison, LLC or S corp. Now, LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation. S corporation is a corporation that gives you the best tax shelters. You're going to have to figure out which one you want. All right? Or you can actually get a hybrid, and I'm going to talk about a hybrid at the end. You can actually get a hybrid. It's called an SLLC, and I'm going to talk about that towards the end of the video. So if you want to know about an SLLC, definitely stay tuned until the end. So let me explain it a little bit more. So what Ghost did was Ghost created an S corp, not a limited liability corporation. And as an S corp, he had his funds being direct deposited into his business checking account, but it was from his employer. When you do that as an S corp, you do raise red flags. But if you do that as a limited liability corporation, you are with all rights to do that, because an LLC is a 100% pass-through entity. Because there is something that's called a oh man, my mind just went blank. Shoot, it's called not an alias. What is it called? It's called alter ego. Forgive me. It's called an alter ego. It's called an alter ego. It's called an alter ego. Now keep asking your questions, because I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna answer some of these questions. So because of the alter ego loophole, and because of the alter ego laws, it basically allows you to be able to have your business as an alter ego when you are a limited liability corporation. When you are an S corporation, you're not able to do that. Now let me take a step back for a moment. Especially in the trucking industry, what happens is a lot of times people will go into the trucking industry to create a job. They just want a job. They're not trying to be a boss. They're not trying to be an employee. I mean, they're not trying to be an entrepreneur. They just want to find good work. They tired of working for somebody else, or they're antisocial, or they just want to be by themselves. They want to be on the open road, or whatever the situation. A lot of people get into trucking because they just want to have a job. Now, somewhere along the lines, they smell all the wonderful, beautiful, phenomenal opportunity and finances that the trucking industry has. And they say, hold up, I want to be an owner-operator. Hold up, I want to be a business owner. And so they go on this self-discovery, trying to figure out how to be an entrepreneur, playing the guessing game. In this business of mine, of business development and business consulting, I spend more time cleaning up messes than I do creating new ones. And it irritates the black off my back. I can't stand it. It bothers me. It irritates me. I have to do better. I'm asking for patience, because I have all these people, they'll try to build up this makeshift business, and they'll mess everything up, and then they'll come to me and say, Dean, fix it. Everybody says, Dean, I need help. I need help. An ounce of prevention is worth much more than a pound of cure. That's the reason why my online course is only $50 a month for 12 months, and you get consulting with me. But if you want one-on-one time with me, it's going to cost you $150 an hour. Because an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. So what happens is that people will try to self-educate themselves on how to build business credit and mess up. They'll self-educate themselves on how to start a business and mess up. And I get it. I understand. Listen, a lot of people don't know how to build a business. They don't know. They just don't, because they're not people that are teaching it. There aren't people that are qualified to teach it. And let me tell you the reason why. Because a lot of consultants, they don't speak the way that I speak. They don't captivate the way that I captivate. I'll leave that ambiguity where it is so you can come up with your own conclusions. I don't want to isolate a demographic for that. You guys get my picture. Another reason why a lot of people don't understand is because they have their cushy jobs working at banks. I had a great job working at my bank. Oh, if I was not passionate about business development, I would still be working for the banks. I had a great cushy job. What, banking hours? Are you kidding? I would get there like at 9:30, 10 o'clock. On Fridays, I would leave at like 12 to 1, 2 o'clock. I had a good cushy job, but I was dying on the inside. So when you have that good cushy job, they know the same things that I know because they're taught the same things that I'm taught. But because of the Fair Lending Act, it is against the laws, and they're going to jeopardize their good cushy job where they have all these wonderful benefits, where they have a matching 401k up to 60%, where they have this longevity of this beautiful gold watch and the bragging rights to say that I work for this huge banking corporation. I mean, I used to, as a single man, I used to get so much action just because I said, oh yeah, I'm a banker. I work for this bank. I mean, it is what it is. People have that bragging rights to say that, and a lot of people aren't entrepreneurial, especially that go in that field. So I said all that to say this, that they are sitting and denying your loan, and they know the same thing that I'm telling you, but they cannot tell you because of the Fair Lending Act, and because they don't want to give up that beautiful benefits. They don't want to give up those beautiful medical benefits. I mean, when I lost my job at the bank and I found out I had cancer, I almost had a heart attack. I almost had 2 major issues. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Because the benefits are just great. But anyway, I said all that to say this. I decided to walk away from my last banking job because of misinformation. The #1 best-selling book of all time says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. If you've ever heard that before, I want you to type heard it. Write down right now, I want you to say heard it. So if you've ever heard that before, I want you to write heard it. That my people perish for lack of knowledge. The #1 best-selling book says that my people perish for lack of knowledge. I want you to write heard it. I am a Southern gentleman. Grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised. Grew up by some strong, wide-back men that taught me to be unapologetically myself in the South, Southern gentlemen. And in the South, there is a celebration that we do of Juneteenth that a lot of people don't know about Juneteenth. Juneteenth was when Texas found out 2.5 years later that slavery was abolished. So for over 2.5 years that they were still subjugated to slavery in Texas and in the South because they did not know. They thought they knew, but they did not know. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Even if you're watching this on the replay and you understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say heard it. That my people perish for lack of knowledge. That same book that says that my people perish for lack of knowledge also says that there is a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. Now, in that, they're talking about your immortal soul. They're talking about, that. But I'm not talking about the specificity of that. I'm talking about the ideal of it. That you think that you know how to do something. At the end, you mess everything up. Ladies, how many of you guys thought that you knew how to keep that man? You was doing everything in your power to try to make him happy. Come to find out you was doing nothing but pushing him away. Fellas, how many of you guys thought that you knew what it took to make old girl happy or make that girl your wife, or do everything that you thought to make her happy? You're going to give her the best present and you give it to her and she pissed off at you. She's even more mad at you because you thought that you knew a way. That #1 best-selling book says that there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction, especially when you try to self-educate yourself. And I get it. A lot of people can't afford $150 an hour, which is why my course is only $50 a month for 12 months. A lot of people cannot afford to sit down with a consultant like myself. A lot of people don't trust people like myself. A lot of people think that slavery is still the law, when in actuality, you've been free for 2.5 years, Juneteenth. A lot of people have this Juneteenth mentality when it comes to entrepreneurship. So I said all of that to say this. There are two things that you need to understand when developing your business. There are three people that you really need in your life as an entrepreneur. You need an attorney, without a shadow of a doubt, without any equivocations. You also need a tax professional, without a shadow of a doubt, without any equivocations. And you need a banker or somebody to help you get funding, or somebody like myself. These are three different people that do three separate things, and they need to all stay in their lane. However, these two people, the CPA, the accountant, and the lawyer, they often battle back and forth amongst each other. I love social media. I think social media is one of the best things right now, one of the best things smoking. And in social media, they have a lot of these different memes. And there's a meme that says, who comes first? The wife? No, I actually responded to it. It said, who comes first? The daughter, the wife, the baby mama, or what did it say? It says, who comes first? He said, who comes first in a man's life? It's the daughter, the wife, the baby mama, or the mother. Have you guys seen those memes? And it says, who comes first? If you've seen it, I want you to write seen it. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you to write seen it. So let me go ahead and read some of these comments so I can make sure that you guys are participating. And thank you for participating with me. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I need you to do two things. Thing number one, I need you to subscribe so you can watch this live and you can ask me questions live. The second thing is I want you to hit that bell. So I want you to comment, because I want you to participate. I need for you to make that mind-mental connection as well, so you can see it. Okay. So DC channel says he's seen it. All right. Jay Hoshin says he's seen it. All right. Kay says I need to preach. I appreciate that. 404 trucker. That crazy guy. Thanks for all of your info, your brother. Your YouTube has to be giblets and respect. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Heard it and read it. Okay, awesome. Appreciate you for participating. So John JR is participating. All right, K Logger is participating. I appreciate that. Says heard it. All right, Fresh Air Brown says heard it. Didn't understand it. Now you do. Okay, awesome. That's good stuff. All right. Renaissance says he's heard it. Okay, awesome. Carolyn says he's heard it. I'm gonna come back and read all of this. Okay, awesome. All right, sup Tokyo. Still Hawging is in the building. Says, what's up, Tokyo? Seen it, laugh out loud all day. That's good stuff. You did not see it? Okay, if you haven't seen it, I'll make sure you see it. Didn't see it, haven't seen it? Okay, awesome. No, not yet? Okay, awesome. I want to make sure you guys are with me. Okay, so even if you're watching this on the replay, I need for you to make the mind connection with this content. I need for you to chime in so you can make the mental connection with this, as well as I want to know your thoughts. I want you to let me know, because I come back and I interact with you even on the replay as well. So there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is a destruction. So people always say, which one comes first? The baby, the wife, the baby mother, or the mother? And people have all these arguments. Same thing when it comes to the CPA and it comes to the attorney. The CPA's primary job is to make sure that you are compliant with the IRS and save you as much money as possible. The job of the attorney is to make sure that you are legal and to keep you out of jail and to keep you as free as possible. They have two separate jobs, and a lot of times people ask the other person the wrong thing. The attorney is going to want to give you the most protection, limited liability, which means that your liability is limited. The tax professional, the CPA, wants to save you as much money as possible, but both of these people don't know nothing about funding. You go to an attorney and ask an attorney what's a DUNS number, he ain't gonna know. He's gonna say, which judge was that? Which Judge Duns? You go to a CPA and you ask a CPA what's a IntelliScore. IntelliScore, and is that a new certification that I need to get in order to stay compliant? They have absolutely no idea when it comes to funding. They don't know an underwriting guideline. They don't know a lender overlay from a forecast overlay or a shower overlay. They have absolutely no idea. And they stay in their lanes. They go to school for years and years and years to be CPAs. They go to school for years and years and years to be attorneys. Never ever in their life take any financial information, take any financial classes. So it's very important that you understand these different tasks. And that's why I say you have to pick your poison. What do you want to do? My advice as a business development person, I have to deal with all of them. I have to deal with all of them for a different myriad. And you want to know that's something that's funny? The CPA hires me to get them funding. The attorney hires me to get them funding because they have absolutely no idea when it comes to funding. So let me explain what I mean by that. First, I gotta wipe my brow. Y'all say I be preaching. Gotta wipe my brow and gotta drink my water. This is so funny. I have anxiety because I can't see myself. This is so funny. But so anyway, let me go some more. So said all that to say this is that a CPA is going to want you to be an S corp, because an S corp has a tremendous amount of tax shelters. But the reason why it has a tremendous amount of tax shelters is because they are heavily regulated. An LLC stands for Limited Liability Corporation. So God forbid, if something were to happen to you and your business, you are protected. You're not liable. You're protected. When you do an LLC, there's something that is called a alter ego. Now, let me explain an alter ego. Now remember, CPA and an attorney. Now, if you ever, God forbid, ever go through litigation, an attorney worth their weight in gold, the first thing they're going to do is try to pierce your corporate veil, okay? They're going to try to pierce your corporate veil. Now let me do a temperature check. If you're watching this right now, do you know what a corporate veil is? If you know what it is, say, I know. If you don't know what it is, say, I don't know. 3 words. I don't know. If you don't know what a corporate veil is, I know if you know what a corporate veil is, because that's going to allow me to let me know what I need to teach on. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I need to know if you understand what a corporate veil is, or if you don't know what a corporate veil is. Okay. So let me go ahead and get ready to read some of these responses. Okay. All right. So Rob G says, I know. All right. Anthony says, I don't know. All right. Ebony Rucker says, I know. All right, John Jr. says, I don't know. All right, Jay Johnson says, I don't know. Rahim says, I know. All right, DJ says, I know. Island Boy says, I know. All right, what's that? LOCTU49 says, I don't know. All right, Jonathan Miller says, I don't know. All right, Dante says that I know because I took your course. Angelina says, I don't know. Jesse Williams says, I know. Stacy says, I know. Great video. Okay, so let's talk about it. Piercing the corporate veil. An attorney, when you go through litigation, the first thing they're going to try to do is they're going to try to remove your protection. The benefits of being a limited liability corporation, or an S corporation, or a C corporation, or just an INC incorporation is that you are protected as an entrepreneur. That's why I never, ever in life ever suggest anybody who's really in business to be a sole proprietor. That's why sole proprietor is not even in the equation. Doesn't even need to be mentioned. That's just the most ridiculous thing ever known to man. So, limited liability corporation gives you the best protection. God forbid, if you're driving down the road and you're driving a truck, for instance, and your truck hits an old lady, and that old lady is completely fine, but on the way to the emergency room, she has a heart attack from fear and worry. You have protection. Your assets are protected. So let's say, for instance, you have a big, beautiful house in Southern California with a big, beautiful pool in the backyard like Ghost does. Or you have all these tricked out cars sitting on 22s like Ghost does. I'm just teasing Ghost. Or, you have this... you Still Hawging. You got these Harley Davidson or super bikes. You have all these wonderful assets because you're a smart businessman like Ghost is. That means that, God forbid, if something were to happen, then you are protected. You have more liability than any other company does. When you have an S corporation, then your liability, you have a lot more exposure. When you have a regular incorporation, you have a lot more exposure. But for a limited liability corporation, you have the best protection. So the first thing that an attorney is going to do is try to pierce your corporate veil. The corporate veil is what protects you as an entity from your business, okay? That's the corporate veil. The attorney's job is to do what? Keep you out of jail and to keep you legal. The CPA's job is what? Keep you paying the least amount in taxes and keep you legal in the form of the IRS. I'm going to get to the CPA in a second because I'm talking about alter ego. Now, in order for an attorney to pierce your corporate veil, they have to do something that's called a 3-prong test. The three-pronged test is to determine if you are able to become liable by piercing your corporate veil. The number one thing that they attack is your what? Alter ego, which is a privilege that we're talking about in this situation, because we're talking about the small business owner. We're not talking about the person that has 10 or 20 trucks. We're talking about the person that's trying to get one truck. I'm not talking about the person that has $150 million in real estate. I'm talking about the person that owns a boutique that's trying to buy $150,000 home. I'm not talking about the person who owns 10 car dealerships. I'm talking about the person that's trying to buy 3 cars so they can flip. So you got to understand that there's levels to this. And that's the reason why you have to make sure that you understand that you give somebody the information they need for the level that they're on. The information that I'm going to give you is not the information that I would give somebody that has $150 million in assets. They don't need to be an LLC. But you that trying to get $150 to start your business, you need to have an LLC. There's levels to this. There's difference. So that's the reason why the information that I'm teaching you, I'm speaking to my demographic. I'm speaking in specificity so that I can help you build yourself up to where you need to be so you can invest into yourself. And in my course, I teach in grave detail all the ins and outs and outs and ins, and I leave no stone unturned, and I take away the guessing game on a lot of things because I try to make it easy for people because everybody can't afford $150 an hour. It is what it is. So let's talk about it a bit more. So as a startup business, if you are self-funding yourself, you are 100% okay because you're self-funding yourself under a limited liability corporation, not under an S corporation, not under a C corporation. But the information and advice I gave is if you are a limited liability corporation because of the privilege of an alter ego. When you are an LLC, you are able to kind of go under the benefits of an alter ego. Now remember, the advice that I gave is if you are driving company and you're trying to start your business right now. My advice wasn't when you're trying to buy 10 trucks. My advice wasn't when you have over $300,000 gross coming in and you're trying to have tax shelters. My advice wasn't how can you buy commercial real estate. My advice was to the person that is trying to figure out how they can begin to build their business when they're still an employee for somebody else. That is the advice for a limited liability corporation. The only time I would suggest that you play with the privilege of the alter ego is when you're in that situation, when you're working for somebody else trying to make your own business come true. That's when I suggest you play with an alter ego. Let's talk about the piercing the corporate veil and the alter ego. The number one mistake that most people do not understand when there's, like I said, there's a 3-pronged test to try to pierce the corporate veil. The first prong is to determine if the business is an alter ego. It is not illegal to be an alter ego, but when you are under litigation and you have assets that you're trying to protect, an attorney is going to try to pierce the corporate veil by testing the alter ego. There are 8 different categories that make an alter ego. I'm going to talk about that, but I'm using this to teach in specificity because in the last video, I was being broad about it, but I'm teaching in detail because you guys want to know this. So I'm educating you and I'm helping you guys understand that there's difference between an LLC, an S Corp, and an incorporation when it comes to why you do the things that you do. So let me explain a little bit more. Prime example for my people that are truck drivers that are trying to understand this. If I am a heavy hauler, I have absolutely no dealings when it comes to lumpers. It doesn't matter. I don't need to understand a lumper if I'm a heavy hauler. If you guys understand where I'm coming from, say, I got it. If I am dry van, it does not matter, and I'm not going to study and understand what a car hauler needs to understand when it comes to securing their freight. If you guys understand where I'm coming from, say I understand. Just like if I am in the port and I am running intermodal freight. If I'm running intermodal freight, I have absolutely no idea or no understanding, and I'm not gonna study. If I have to worry about a port, then I'm not gonna understand, and I'm not gonna study what a fuel hauler is gonna need to understand when it comes to fuel and hazmat. So I said all of that. It's the details of the business. That's the reason why I want you guys to understand that the details of an LLC and the details of an S corp are completely different when you talk about the specificity of the business. But when you are a practitioner and you understand the ins and outs and outs and ins, then you're able to piece everything together. So let me explain a little bit more. So when it comes to the test of an alter ego, the first thing that they're going to test with the alter ego, well, first, let me take a step back. First thing they're going to do is they're going to try to pierce the corporate veil. There are three things that they try to do. There are three-pronged tests to determine if you're able to pierce the corporate veil. First thing is the alter ego, which we're talking about the liberties of an alter ego when it comes to starting a startup business, not a growing business. I'm talking about a startup business, not somebody that's trying to expand a wing to their business. I'm talking about somebody that's trying to fire their boss. The information for that person is different from the information for that person. So let me explain a little bit more. So the first thing they're going to do is they're going to test the alter ego. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to figure out if it is deemed, if the damages deemed need be. What does damages deemed need be mean? Is that if you do such a good job of making sure that your business is as lean as possible, but all of your assets are, you have a multi-million-dollar home, you have $1 million of stocks and bonds, you have tens of thousands of dollars of equipment, but in the business name, there's nothing, and you have nothing in the business name, then it deems necessary to pierce the corporate veil. And the third reason why you would pierce the corporate veil is the alter ego, if it deems necessary, and if it is warranted by the state and the fraction that you're facing. If it's warranted by the state or the fraction that you're facing. If you find yourself in any type of litigation, first thing you need to do is hire an attorney, not a CPA, not a business development person, but an attorney that specializes in what you are facing, okay? So that's the three-prong approach to try to pierce the corporate veil. Now, let's talk about the alter ego. There are 8 factors that make up an alter ego, all right? I'm talking about specificity. There are 8 factors that make up an alter ego. Now, having the alter ego is a liberty when you are a startup business because it allows you to begin to build your business and fund your business, but not grow your business. There's a complete difference. Starting a business and building a business is completely different from growing a business, okay? When you are a LLC and you're a brand new startup, you're going to 9 times out of 10, unless you come across somebody like me, you're going to make the mistake and you're going to use your home address as your business address. If you're watching this right now and you are an entrepreneur and you use your home address as your business address, just say, I am guilty. No, just say guilty. All right, just say guilty. All right, so let's just say guilty. So if you are watching this, even if you're watching this on the replay, it's okay. I'm not going to browbeat you, but I'm just going to show you what happens. That being said, you can have tens of millions of dollars. I've seen it done. I've had millionaire clients. Like I told you, it irritates the black off my back that I have to do so much cleanup work as a consultant. I had a client that owned 4 pieces of, not 4 pieces, but 4 different land lots. And they are a car dealership. Millionaires, legally net income. I'm not talking about gross income. I'm talking about net income millionaires. And on their information is their home address. Most people don't know. So that right there is you abide the liberties of your alter ego. Your home address and your business address is the same. It's the exact same premise under an alter ego. So let me see some people that say guilty. All right. Trey says guilty. All right. Johnson says guilty. Chris says guilty. All right. Fresh Air Brown guilty. So I said all of that to say this is that people perish for lack of knowledge, and it's okay. I'm not trying to beat you up, but that is so that you can conceptualize what alter ego means. That gives you the range of alter ego. How many of you have ever filled out a loan application or a business application for your business, but you use your personal cell phone as your business cell phone? That that goes under the guise of alter ego. If you've ever done that, if you ever used your cell phone as your business cell phone, say me. Even if you're watching this on the replay, I want you, like I said, I want you to interact. I want you to say me. You've done it before. All of this is under the guise of an alter ego, which is the reason why you can build your business up to a certain extent doing these things, because you have a limited liability, or some people don't even have a limited liability. Some people are straight up sole proprietors and they're doing that. All right. So this is under the guise and the liberties of alter ego. The other thing that a lot of people do that they make a huge mistake with is that they will start a business. Let's say they start a business in 2009. They start an LLC in 2009 and don't do no business. And a lot of people do this as shelf corporations. They'll start a business, never create any type of income, never create any type of filings, and they just started a business, have not done anything with the business. And if you are guilty, even if you're watching this on the replay and you've done this before, I want you to say OMG, because this is a mistake that a lot of people do not know. So type OMG if you're guilty of that. If you started an LLC and you did not immediately start building that business, that lies under the guise of an alter ego, which is 100% legal, but it pierces your corporate veil. All right. It begins to pierce your corporate veil when you do that. When you start a business and you do not immediately begin to build it up and you let it stand for over 6 months, you're less protected. It doesn't mean that it's illegal, but it means that you're not as protected, because these are some of the prong attempts. These are some of the 8 characteristics that make up determining if a business is an alter ego in the eyes of a lawyer. Now, this is one of the things that I think a lot of people did not quite understand when I was talking about having your check direct deposited into your business account. When it comes to commingling funds, that's the 7th thing, is commingling funds. The same book that I was talking about that says that people perish for lack of knowledge, that same book that I was saying that says that there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. That same book also has a passage that I like that says that it's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but what goes out of a man that defiles him. I'm going to use that liberty to paint this picture. You can deposit and I said this in the video too, because remember, when I teach, I speak truth to power, because I'm teaching you the specificity and the practicality. If you ever hear me preach or ever hear me teach or ever hear me speak or whatever you say that I do, I'm going to give you all the details. I'm going to give you everything like it TI is. And in that video, I told you that you can have all of your funds deposited into that account. I said, but be careful how you withdraw the funds, because it's not what goes into a man that defiles him, but it's what goes out of a man that defiles him. What do I mean by that? When it comes to commingling funds, you can rightfully deposit all of your cash into your business account. Get a business debit card. Use that business debit card for all of your business expenses. For a startup, 9 times out of 10, it's every part of your expenses except, I said what? Except for your rent and your utilities. If you and your personal bills. So, like I explained, it's not what goes into a man, but what goes out of him. So what determines commingling funds is when you withdraw funds from the business account, how you withdraw them into your personal account. If you do a wire transfer, instantly no. Commingled funds, corporate veil is pierced. You can legally pull cash out. 100% legal to pull cash out. But you're gonna have to do a written account for where the cash went. Now, I'm not gonna get into how and where that $1,500 went. Just so happened it's $1,500 for your mortgage, or $1,500 could have been broken up into 4 different things for your business. Hey, you hear what I'm saying? Everything that's understood don't need to be said. I just leave it at that. But I said all that to say this. It's not what goes into a man, but what goes out of him that defiles him. So you would get into legal issues when it comes to how you pull the money out of your account, which determines commingling of funds. You can actually write yourself a check as if you are an employee. Now, if you write yourself a check, is if you are an employee, then that means that you're going to have taxable income from your because it's going to be considered like a secondary job when we're talking about an LLC. Now, I'm talking about the attorney side. I'm going to get to the CPA side in a second. This is all about the attorney side. I'm going to get to the CPA side in a second. So, those are the laws when it comes to piercing your corporate veil. You can deposit all the money you can, but when you get to wire transferring and when you get to swiping your card for things that trace back to what's considered for personal use that cannot be a legitimate tax write-off, that's how you begin to commingle funds and you pierce your corporate veil. Does it mean that you're going to jail? No. Does it mean that you're breaking the law? No. It just means that your limited liability, you're now exposed. But if you've done all those things, which 98% of entrepreneurs are guilty of, you can fix that and you can restore your corporate veil. How? By hiring somebody like me or hiring an attorney that specializes in that or enrolling into my course. And I teach you how to do it. So that's the legal side of things. Now let's talk about the CPA side or the tax accountant side. Remember, this video is titled My Response to Still Hawging TV, Still Hawging TV, AKA Ghost, Pick Your Poison, LLC or S Corp. If you want the most protection, nothing is going to protect you like an LLC. It's going to give you the best protection. You can even have an anonymous LLC, which I didn't even get into that. I'm going to do a completely separate video on that because that's just a beautiful thing all within itself. But that's going to protect you the most when it comes to liability. Now, an S Corp, on the other hand, is going to protect your money the most. An S Corp is going to give you the biggest tax shelters. You can write almost everything off with an S Corp. And you don't have to pay Social Security tax, which is a big deal for larger businesses. Let's talk about that. Remember, we're talking truth to power. I'm talking specifics. All right. And if you have a question, you can do a super chat and that'll stop me and I'll answer your question because I see a lot of questions going by. I'm going to try to get to all of them, but there's so many people that are watching this and I'm going to try to get to all of them. So Social Security tax is the biggest thing that CPAs jump up and down and dance on and they talk about when it comes to S Corp versus LLC. A lot of any CPA worth his weight in gold is going to do the best that they can to keep you having to pay as little taxes as possible. But remember, CPA ain't got nothing to do with funding. If you do that and you try to come to a bank to get funding, they're going to say, you don't make no money. So let me explain that, okay? CPA says you make over $200,000 a year from your business, all right? A CPA says that you make over $200,000 for your business. That's your gross income. In your mind, you think your gross income, you deposit all this check. But when it's tax time, a good CPA gonna play them tax shelters, the tax game. Then they're gonna say that your net tangible income is only $40,000. Let's just say $40,000. So in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I make $200,000 a year. Let me go get this $600,000 piece of land, or let me go get this. I should be able to go and get that house. I make $200,000 coming into my account. People love to tell me that. Oh, I gross this. They love to tell me that. Oh, Dean, I gross this. I gross that. It doesn't matter what you gross. It matters what you net. And when it comes to getting a loan, when in the eyes of an underwriter, remember, a CPA probably can't tell you the DTI ratio to purchase primary residence. A CPA probably can't tell you the underwriting guidelines for a multifamily residence in your county. They don't know it. The same reason why somebody who's working the docks don't have absolutely no idea what a car carrier has to go through. They don't know it. So let me explain a little bit more. I strongly suggest every single person, when they're netting over $250,000. I'm talking about net. I'm not talking about gross. I'm talking about net. After all of your deduction, you done played the tax game, and you're netting over $200,000. That's when I suggest that you change over to an S corp. Let me show you why. Because I've said it, but I've never explained it outside of my group. Now, inside of my group, inside the the business credit, and inside DCFI Online, I teach this. Somebody just gave me a super chat. So what's your question? All right, Black 12212. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate that. All right, so I appreciate that super chat. So go ahead and ask that question. All right, so so I said all that to say this, that man, the super chat, man, let me lose my train of thought. Over $200,000, and in DCFI Online and in the School of Business Credit, I teach why I explain it. But publicly, I say unless you're grossing that, but I don't explain the reason why. Because of Social Security tax. Everything that you can hide under tax shelters with S Corp, you can also hide under an LLC, except one tax, which is Social Security tax. Social Security tax is typically 15% of your net tangible income, not your gross income. So let's do the math. So, prime example, $200,000. If you net $200,000 after all of your tax gains and deductions, and you are an LLC, you're gonna have to pay 15% of that. So 200,000 times 15%, that's $30,000 that you're gonna have to pay. You're just gonna have to pay $30,000, which is a big chunk of money. So that's the reason why I suggest that over 200,000 is when you could, because like I said, any good CPA worth their weight in gold, worth their salt, is gonna try to keep your deductions as low as possible. So let's go another further. Let me explain it. I think you actually should be, I think any business that's trying to grow, I'm not talking about somebody that has grown and they're trying to sustain, but anybody that's trying to really grow, where they're going to try to get a loan or they're going to try to get funding. I think that you need to have your income to be at least $75,000 or $100,000 is your income left over. So let's just say $75,000 times 15 times 15%. That comes out to being $11,250. All right. So $11,250 seems to be kind of expensive, but it costs to be the boss. It just does. So out of that $11,250, there are different ways that you can divvy that up. You don't have to pay it all at one time. You can actually break that up over 3 years and stay compliant with the IRS, which most people don't know as well, that you can actually get on payment plans when it comes to your taxes. But I said all that to say that $11,250 is a good price to pay when you're trying to get a loan for $150,000. So let's do the math. If you're able to get this loan, which is a leverage for $150,000, you could pay that $11,250 off easily and still have what you need to be able to grow and get funding. There's levels to entrepreneurship. There's levels to it. So I said all of that to say that a CPA, their job is going to try to keep you with having as much tax shelters, give you the most protection as possible. That's under an S Corp, hands down. If your goal is trying to protect your money, and if your goal is trying to grow your business after you've already established it, and in my advice, my humble opinion as a consultant that does this and currently have over 275 businesses right now that I have to look at and look over and go over, my advice would be only look at going and forming an S Corp or a hybrid if you have over 200,000. So let's talk about that hybrid. You are able to create a business that has the protection of an LLC and have the tax shelters of an S Corp. It's called an SLLC. It's called an SLLC. It's a hybrid LLC. You're able to file as a your entity as a limited liability, but you can actually file your tax code as an S corporation. That takes a lot of finagling. You have to first make sure that your corporate veil is not pierced. If your corporate veil is pierced in any of the ways that I talked about, then you will not be able to effectively do it. So what you have to do is restore your corporate veil if your corporate veil is pierced. Then you can actually fill out certain paperwork to become an SLLC. That's something that I teach in my course. It's advanced. It's something that you're not going to be able to find YouTube. Remember, you guys remember. And let's do a temperature check again. If you guys caught this late and you're watching live, how many of you guys know somebody that swear up and down that they can build a house from scratch because they done watched 150 YouTube videos about building a house from scratch? If you know somebody that feels like they can build a house because they done watch videos on building a house, type LOL, laugh out loud. How many of you know, swear up and down, that they can make pizza just as good as Pizza Hut because they done watched every cooking video on YouTube about making pizza, type LOL, because I'm about to order pizza right now. I'm kind of hungry. How many of you know they swear up and down that they know how to do a pre-trip when it comes to, and also know how to be a car hauler because they done watched 100 videos on car hauling, hadn't even sat behind a semi, wouldn't know a reefer from a step deck. Tap life LLL because they've watched the videos. So I said all of that to say this: watching videos is not the same thing as the specificity and practicality of actually the functionality of it. So I said all of that to say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pick your poison. Figure out your direction. Know your end from the beginning. Oftentimes, what most CPAs will say is that, oh my gosh, $11,200 is huge savings. Because if you take that $11,200 over the span of 10 years, every single CPA, if you ever sit down and talk to a CPA, when they do their cost analysis, on their cost analysis, they use a 10-year time frame because that's what they're taught in school. They say over 10 years, but this is the reality. Fantasy is what we want, but reality is what we need. The average business goes under after 2 years. That's why most SBA loans and most A lenders will not lend you money until you've been in business for more than 2 years. Because over 8,100 businesses fail every single day in the United States because of they're underfunded. Over 8,100 businesses start every day in the US, and over 9,000 businesses fail every single day. The number one reason why businesses fail, not because of their corporate veil being pierced, not because they owe tax bills, because they ain't got no money, because they can't get funding, because they're underfunded. And that's the number one reason why businesses fail. So the logic, yes, remember, we're talking about a 10-year period. Every single CPA, when they do their cost analysis, they look over a 10-year time frame because that's how they're taught. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. $120,000, $111,275 is a lot of money over 10 years, but you got to be able to make it to that 10 years. And my demographic and my audience is the person that's trying to make something come from nothing. My demographic is the person that's trying to turn their passion into profits. My demographic is the person that's driving company and trying to get their first truck, that's working a 9 to 5 and then go home and work a 6 to 10, making their dreams a reality. Is a person that's a stay-at-home mom and who has a good husband that works a factory job and she's trying to build her real estate investing business. That's my demographic. And then I have the other demographic of the people that's like, Dean, they know my credentials, they know who I am, and they book that $150 an hour with me. No problem. They'll sit down. I had a trucking company today actually book 10 hours with me. Sight unseen. Dean, let's book 10 hour, $1,500. Boom, I got the notification. I'm not saying this to brag, and I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you that there's levels to this. And so for the person that can afford to pay me sight unseen $1,500 is not the same person that's struggling to pay $50 a month. There's levels to entrepreneurship. And my job is to try to get you where you are at your level. And there are people right now that wish they can be in my online course. So why I do the YouTube videos for an hour and 20 minutes talking and teaching this, because there are people that have absolutely no income who can't even invest that into themselves, but they can invest in watching a video. They can invest into commenting and sharing. And I only invest in people that invest into themselves. That's the reason why I need you to respond to me, even if you're watching the replay, and I need for you to ask me questions, even if you're watching the replay, is because I need for you to invest in yourself. I have clients that cannot afford, and they swear up and down, Dean, you're my coach. Never enrolled, never had a one-on-one with me, never talked to me on the phone. But in their heart and in their mind, I'm helping them. And when they're ready, I'm going to be there for them. Then I have the people that are ready to pay $50 a month. They're paying the $50 a month. They're loving it. They're getting the free website. They're getting the $20,000 in credit. They're boosting up their credit. They absolutely love it. They talk with me. They meet with me. I am their coach. I have the other people that pay $450 at one time. They say, Dean, I absolutely love it. You're helping me grow everything. They're there. And I have the people that pay, but they block time with me, $150 in 10 sessions, 3 sessions, 50. They just do it. No problem, because that's where they are. They're different levels of entrepreneurship. So the advice that I'm going to give one person isn't the same thing that I'm giving another person, especially on a free format. So I said all of that to say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you thought that there was beef between Ghost and I, no beef at all. It was just a series of unfortunate events. Him commenting on my video, then him saying that he's going to teach how to do business credit. All series of unfortunate events. I love him. I can't wait. I'm treating him and his beautiful young lady to brunch next Sunday. Me and him, like I said, we talked on the phone for a good hour and some change today. Ghost, you're watching this now, so you remind, I don't know if it was an hour and a half or whatever. And he brought it up because I completely forgot all about it. I just been so busy why I haven't gone live or said anything. So I'm going to answer some of your questions. Let's see some of these questions. Now, somebody gave me a super chat. Who was it that gave me a super chat? Because I need to know your question. I want you to ask your question because I saw you gave me a super chat, but you did not answer the question. Ask the question. There's a lot of comments. Somebody laughing at me. Side chick. Laugh out loud. T. Moore, you like that side chick? Listen, I'm going to get to you all the way straight. I'm going to get it to you real. I'm going to get it to you. Where you at? You baked a very good chicken breast from YouTube? That's what I'm talking about. You baked a very good chicken breast from YouTube. I'm very proud of you. All right, now that's funny. Truth, okay. LLC protects your personal finances. That is true, Timor. All right, so let's see some of these questions. So Boss Mac says, you says, I'm on another level. Blessings. I'm blessing you with all of the information. Much success to you. Bless all YouTubers. Praise go to blessings come down. That's good stuff. I appreciate that, Kai Mixon. I appreciate that. All right, so DC Channel says I give good information. You don't need to explain it to the haters. Yeah, I do, DC, but no, I'm not explaining it to haters. Some people aren't haters. Some people are just slaves that don't know about Juneteenth. Why I teach it. My people perish for lack of knowledge. All right, so let's see here. My CPA told you need to let the hybrid, all right, it says your CPA told you that you need to let her hybrid your LLC or S Corp. Okay, so DJ, very good advice from your CPA because it is advanced. It's not something that you can do. So prime example, your CPA says that she is going to do that for you. That's awesome. Allow her to do it. That's good. Or you can go through our course and because a lot of times this is the thing. That's why I said, the first thing that an attorney does, the number one thing that an attorney does is try to pierce the corporate veil because it's so easy because people perish for lack of knowledge. They don't know. They don't know that they can have an anonymous LLC. They don't know that they can have protection that way. They don't know. So it's so easy to pierce the corporate veil and get charging orders because people don't know. They make a lot of mistakes that I just made. All right, so 404 Trucker says, with your LLC, you need an operating agreement. Very good. So your business have rules to go by. 404 Trucker, that's a great comment. Now let me explain that. So that's a very, 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 very good comment. 404 Trucker, also known as a crazy guy. That's why I love LLC as well, because you have to have an operating agreement. LLCs are so cool because in your operating agreement, it can say no one, if say for instance, you have 3 business partners. And out of your 3 business partners, let's say you guys are knocking down a good 30, 40, 50,000 a month. In your operating agreement, you can say that no one can pull funds out of the account unless all signatures are on the check. In your operating agreement, you can say no funds are released until 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this day. It's so detailed. And what happens is that instantly protects you because God forbid, if you have to take one of your business partners to court, the minute that they do not abide by those operating agreements, charging orders are done, you can go and take all their assets, or they're instantly liable to hold up with the operating agreement. I absolutely love it. So operating agreement is very, 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 very true. And I appreciate that. And that's part of the 8 prongs to determine if a business has an alter ego. So that's a very good question. Very good. All right. So All right, so DJ says, I'm not going to let her do your hybrid until you finish the course. Awesome, DJ. DJ happens to be a client of mine, ladies and gentlemen. He's enrolled into the course. So if you're watching this live, you can actually see DJ. If you're watching the replay, you can't see his comment. DJ, what are some of the things that you like about the online course since you're watching? So all of the people watching who are watching this live can kind of see your comments. All right, so let's see. All right, so Island Boy says, first time heard about an LLC. All right, is that something new or just unknown to the masses? This is a very good question, Island Boy. It's just unknown. People perish for lack of knowledge. Yes, it's just unknown. It's been around for, I don't know how long. Let me see. I like specifics, Island Boy. So let me go double check. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna check it. But yeah, it's been around for years. I'm checking the exact date. You know, I like to talk specifics. Going to all of my resources. Bear with me for one moment. Going through all of my books, which are all digital now. It looks as if that hybrid LLC has been around ever since the induction. Yeah, it's been around ever since the induction. So yeah. All right, let's see what I missed. And somebody gave me a super chat. I want to answer that question. I gotta find it. It went away. Okay, there we go. So Black 12212, you gave me a super chat, but you didn't tell me what your question was. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. It says, can I use the seasoning from your 2011 Delaware S Corp to obtain business credit if I left that business dormant since then? Is that dormant? Okay, yeah, dormant. Okay. All right, Black. So Black says, can you use the seasoning from your 2011 Delaware S Corporation to create business credit? Yes and no. So let's talk about that, Black. So that's a very good question. So Black, it depends on how you kept your records up. The mistake that most people make is that when they do create, they don't do their annual fees, so your corporation dissolves. So all right, Tyler says you're a piece of work. Okay, I didn't see that. All right, all right, I apologize, a couple of things came up. All right, so you would need to make sure, it depends on Black, if you kept your records up and if you've been paying the fees since 2011. The mistake that a lot of people make is that and if you reach out to me, I can check and see what it looks like to see if you're not sure, to see, if it's worth it. What'll happen is that if your business hasn't been completely dissolved, I'm not saying that it has, but if your business has not been completely dissolved by not keeping up the fees and not paying the fees, then you can go and pay the back fees in order to be able to have ownership of that. So to answer the question, yes, if you have an S Corp and it's in good standing since 2011, then yes, you can. We'll have to do some logistics. It's more than just having the S Corp sitting. You know, there's some other things that have to be in place. You need to make sure that you have an 80 paydex. You can have an 80 paydex in 45 days. You need to make sure that you have the proper underwriting guidelines squared away. So one of the hardest underwriting guidelines is the seasoning, though. But all things being equal, Black, if your S Corp does line up and everything else is correct, I can get you $100,000 in your business name. I know without a shadow of a doubt, without any equivocations, you get $40,000 from one of the lenders that we have a relationship with. They just been giving out $40,000 like it ain't nothing to brand new businesses that's been in business for 3 months because they're set up the proper way. So, and that being said, it just depends. So that's a very good question, Black. All right. Any other super chats? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go because it's 84 minutes on this thing live. All right. So it says, so that Sammy Mack says, will you have to pay more tax money if you're company driver with an LLC? That's a very good question. If you are a company driver, you're taxed. Well, let me ask you this question as a company driver. As a company driver, are you W-2'd or are you 1099? So that's the question. As a company driver, are you W-2'd or 1099? So answer me that question, Sammy. Are you W-2'd or 1099? All right, so DJ says, you like that the videos is followed up by a quiz, then that insists that the information is memory bank? Yes, DJ. I'm glad that you like that. Yes, so you do like that as well. I like it as well because, like I tell the people, it's not about just telling you what to do. It's teaching you how to do it. You know, I like these videos, I tell you what to do, but in the course is signed up to, the course is structured that psychologically is to make sure that you retain knowledge. I mean, how many people go to college to do something and they're a year out of college and they don't know what a thromboembolism is, or they don't know how to figure out the square root of a hexagon. I have absolutely no idea calculus whatsoever. That's why they got the show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Think about the stuff that you forget in the 5th grade. Like those kids aren't geniuses. They just studied it like last week. So, but our course is designed to where it helps you to retain the knowledge. So I'm glad that you like that, DJ. All right. Trucker Brown is in the building. Yay, bang, bang. What's going on, TB? TB, you joined on right when I'm about to end, man. TB, you joined on at the end when I'm about to end. All right. So, okay. So Sammy, you say that you are W-2. All right. So Sammy, you are W-2. So this is some advice to you and only you based on your situation. You, for your first year, the only time I suggest you do this, Sammy, is if you do it for your first year. Well, not the first year of this calendar year. After this calendar year, Sammy, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and leave your company job and start to build your own business. So if you find yourself in this situation, Sammy, you are okay because the income that is being deposited into your business account, 9 times out of 10, Sammy, you tell me, what are you making? What are you making? Let's do some math. So Sammy, what is your net income after your taxes, Sammy? You tell me what your net income is after your taxes. All right, so Jesse said, man, I be having a hard time with the quizzes. All right, Jesse, you be having a hard time with the quizzes. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse is a client as well. Jesse is enrolled into the course, but that's why we have our live Q&A every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So if you're watching this right now, this right here, what I'm doing, where I'm engaged, you get access to every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Like before I came live on YouTube, I was actually live for an hour in our private group, which is why I think a lot of my clients are watching right now, because I told them I was about to go live. So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, we do the interactions and we make sure that we go through everything. So let's see here. So I want to make sure I understand this. So Sammy, let me ask you. So what is your net income, Sammy? I'm about to show you the math right now. All right, so Black said you're going to book an hour consultation with me this Saturday. Oh, you want me to work on a Saturday? Okay. All right, Black, you got to look at my calendar. Whew. What time on Saturday, Black? You want to come up to the office? Message me and let me know. Message me and let me know. Saturday at what time? Let me know, Black. Saturday at what time? And just book it. So message me on Facebook or email me CEO@DeanColeFinancial.com and let's orchestrate it. So you got to let me know, especially because this weekend I'm working because I'm going on vacation next week. So I got so much that I need to do. So let me know. All right. All right. So you're $3,600 monthly. All right. So $3,600 monthly. That means that you're at $43,200, which is going to be deposited into your business account. So out of that $43,200, that's good because that is gross income that's being deposited into your business account. Now, I would strongly suggest that you consult with a good business consultant who can give you grave detail on this, and or consult with a tax professional who can show you how you can take, after you've already taxed, you can take that now $43,200 of business income and how you're able to make it to where you took a loss that year or you broke even. So there's ways that you're able to do it to where you take a loss out of that $43,200 to where you broke even or take a loss when it comes to business expenses, when you set yourself up the proper way. So that's how you have to do it. You have to make sure that you have to have an end game. And I talked about this before, and like Trucker Brown, who just joined. Trucker Brown was getting a lot of flack because he went and rented a Camaro, which I might be doing next, and I'm in San Diego. Trucker Brown, you know, I follow your footsteps. I might be doing the same thing, but hey, you know, I'm gonna get that vert. I'm going down to San Diego, baby. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna get that vert. If I do, I'm gonna get that vert. Gotta get the vert. But so I said all that to say that there are a lot of different things that you're able to do to be able to hide that, or not hide it, to be able to, what's the proper term? Deduct a lot of that, because $43,000 is such a small amount for gross income to where it does not negatively affect you. What I was about to say is that a lot of people stumble in the trucking game, like yourself. They stumble into entrepreneurship. They don't have an end result. They just know that they're tired of driving company. And instead of making $43,000, they want to make $143,000, which is so easy to do when you have your own truck, have your own equipment, or if you have your own authority. But nevertheless, what I said all that to say is that $43,200 is such a small amount that it's so easy to be able to take deductions, boom, 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 business expense and write-offs when you have that regular 9 to 5, because you're already taxed on that. You just have to have an end result, and you have to know, remember, this is only for a year, so that you're able to start the calendar ticking right now, build your business, so after that year is up, then you can go and get the funding that you need. There's even a trick to where you can have that $43,200 come in and claim every stitch of it, get the funding that you need. Then after you get the funding that you need, then you're able to do a modification to your taxes and then do a complete loss. So there's structures to it. So I said all that to say this, that when you have a guide, you don't have to play the guessing game. When you are lost in the wilderness or you're lost in the woods and you're trying to figure out how to get out, shoot, forget being lost in the wilderness. You go to the mall and you're trying to figure out where's the Foot Locker, and you're looking on the map. The first thing it says is you are here. When you have a map and you know where to go and you have a guide, you don't have to guess anymore. And that's basically the importance of hiring a CPA in your case, or hiring somebody like myself in your case. So can you deduct rental and business expenses? Yes, you sure can. You can deduct rental as business expenses, and also rental payments, finance fees does not count as taxable income. Those are all deductible. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have been with you for an hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 32 minutes. I hope it was informative. I hope that I educated you. I hope that I empowered you. But most importantly, I hope that I inspired you. I want you guys to remember that the only person stopping you from being successful is yourself. So once again, the title of this was my response to Still Hawging TV, AKA Ghost. Pick your poison. Think about where you want to be. If you're starting out brand new, go LLC. If you're already established, and in my humble opinion, if you're netting, I'm not talking about grossing, but you're netting over 200,000, then you need to go to an S corp. Or my favorite thing is get a hybrid, where you have an SLLC. It takes some paperwork to do SLLC. You got to make sure that your corporate veil is intact before you can do an SLLC, and you're good to go. So thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. When we do 2,000 subscribers, I am going to do another one of these, Cigars with the CEO, and I'm going to be taking your calls live like I did before. So once we get to 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to forward the radio station. I'm gonna forward the radio station calls to my cell phone like I did last time, and I'm gonna take your calls live on the air. So, how many subscribers are we at? So thank you so much for sharing and spreading the word. Thank you so much for sharing and spreading the word. We are at 1,844 subscribers. So thank you guys so much. So once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a special 2-hour. Look, I'm at an hour and 35 minutes. So I'm gonna do a special 2-hour live, and the entire time, all I'm gonna be doing is enjoying a beautiful cigar and taking your calls live on YouTube like I did before. Matter of fact, if you're watching this and you watch this all the way to the end, you are a trooper. You are the real MVP. That's thing number one. Thing number two is there are 3 videos that are linked in the description of this video. The first video is the one that caused the quote-unquote drama or beef, where I talked on how you're able to drive company and create your own business. That's the first video. The second video is where I was teaching about fear, how to overcome fear as an entrepreneur, and then Ghost came on and he said that the information I was giving was going to get some people jammed up by the feds, which was miscalculated assumption. And then the third video is the video that I did where I was doing a live Q&A, and I was taking people calls live on the YouTube, which is like I do on the radio station, so you will be able to participate. So once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Got to be willing to put in the time to be successful. That's right, Makita. Which is why I respect and admire you guys so much, because especially Makita, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, Makita, DJ, Chris, Dante, Jesse, who else in here? Chris, Erica, who else in here? Stacy, Curtis. They've been watching me for the past 2 hours and 40 minutes because these are clients of mine. So I just did an hour in our private group where I was answering their questions, and now I just did an hour and almost 40 minutes on YouTube Live. You guys are the real MVPs. I appreciate you so much. All right, you guys go get them. Remember, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. Not a situation, not a circumstance, not a person, not a scenario. Anything that you don't know, you can learn it. Any skill that you don't have, you can possess it. Any person that you don't know, you can meet them. The only person stopping you from being successful is you. I want you guys to go get them, because success is waiting.